I arrive at Narita Airport and head straight for ground transportation. The key to easy traveling is not to check any bags, and to only bring 2 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, 3 pairs of socks, and 5 pairs of underwear. When you run out, the hotel bathtub comes in handy. Other than that, it's just me, my laptop, and an RME Fireface 400. After getting settled in at the hotel, I decide to grab some food. My choices are many, but I try to keep it native and head straight for my favorite ramen joint in Shinjuku. I get the pork ramen soup, which really hits the spot. Then I decide to check out the nearby pachinko spot. Pachinko is essentially a gambling game, which combines colorful animation with slot machines. In other words, it's a casino. After losing my shirt, I buy a new one and head back to the hotel to meet the promoter, Dai, who takes me to Shibuya, which is basically like Times Square times 10. To some who first come to Japan, the amount of attention to games, toys, and animation seems outlandish. But when it comes to these things, Japan leaves the rest of the world in the dust. In fact, it was toys that helped Japan rise up from the ashes after World War II. On August 6, 1945, after countless air raids by US fighters which left 40% of Tokyo, 38% of Osaka, and 58% of Yokohama destroyed, the US dropped 2 atomic bombs, one codenamed Little Boy on Hiroshima, and then another codenamed Fat Boy on Nagasaki 3 days later. The war ended, and the American occupation in Japan began. The US helped rebuild schools and factories, but the real ingenious move was made by the Japanese toy makers, who began creating toys out of tin cans left over in the garbage by American GIs. Ironically, the toys were a huge hit with the Americans, who began buying them to send back to their families in the States. The toys became more elaborate and well built, and some even showed clear images of atomic explosions, mushroom clouds, robots, and military vehicles. Over time, the toys became more in demand in the US, and the seed of a business partnership was planted. Tokyo's nightlife is vibrant, so we head to some underground clubs where I bump into 2 drag queens from New York. Work it! But enough messing around, it's time to do what I do best, drop the bass and get out of Dodge. We head over to the Unit Club, where I hear the sound system is able to handle the thrust of a Badawi kick drum. For this performance, I perform alongside visuals, which I shot and then processed in After Effects, as well as Modulate, a VJ program. Next day, I grabbed the Shinkansen bullet train to Osaka to perform at the underground dubstep and grind party Rude. The other reason I'm going to Osaka is because of the demonstrations that will take place there in protest of nuclear power and the weak job the government is doing to protect the people. Not only did the earthquake and tsunami cause massive damage across Japan and cost tens of thousands of lives, but as if that wasn't enough, it also caused 3 level 7 meltdowns at the Fukushima Daiichi power plant, which is the largest nuclear disaster since Chernobyl. Hundreds of thousands of people were displaced because of it, and were either evacuated or left willingly. Even 2 years later, the amount of effort the government is doing to resolve the matter is suspect. Because of this, a bunch of demonstrations were taking place the days around the anniversary, and I made time before soundcheck to go and check them out. The protesters marched alongside a river, holding drums and chanting. It was both heartwarming and sad, as the issues they are up against would be very hard to confront with drums and costumes. The police stood by to make sure no one stepped out of line, and no one did. It was a peaceful and subdued demonstration, which isn't surprising since demonstrating is not at all common in Japan, where the government is rarely opposed. The ocean is an important part of Japanese culture, and most of the food eaten comes from there, especially, of course, sushi. So I hit the neighborhood spot before the gig for a merry-go-round of sushi, probably my favorite food aside from New York City's world-famous Ray's Pizza, if you could find the real one, that is. Afterwards, we head to the club, where, from what I've heard, the sound system can handle a Badawi beatdown. DJs seamlessly mix up dubstep, grime, punk, and hardcore as an MC chats on the mic 100 miles per hour. Okay, now it's my turn. Bye bye, sound boy. next day, I and my lovely guide head over to the nearby comic emporium, where I intend to blow all of my cash. Music is my occupation, but in secret, I also write and draw graphic novels. One of my favorite comic book forms is manga, which plays an enormous role within Japanese culture. Its subtle but highly rigid style has been developed for over a century, and its subjects range from crime, fantasy, sci-fi, thriller, horror, all the way to the outer limits of the taboo. Manga is a multi-billion-dollar industry in Japan, and manga comics made outside of Japan are rarely accepted as real manga. The price is affordable, so I buy a library's worth and head back to the venue to make sure they brought in the subs I ordered. Yup, they got them. Next day, I grabbed the Shinkansen bullet train back to Tokyo to see friends and say my goodbyes. It's always a pleasure to go to Japan. The fans there have supported musicians from around the world for decades, and it's our duty to return that support whenever possible. So thank you, Japan. Until we meet again. Signing off. Peace.
Welcome to Dubspot. We believe in providing you hands-on experience right away. Whether you're completely new to music and want to turn the sounds in your head into a musical reality, or you're an experienced artist looking to refine your skills and add new tools to your arsenal, we're ready to meet you at your level. For students of all ages, all levels, and all styles of music, Dubspot is here to help you achieve your goals. With course offerings both online wherever you are and at our school in the heart of New York City, we are ready to guide you through the next phase of your musical transformation. Whether you want to produce music, DJ, or do both, you've come to the right place. Come explore Dubspot for yourself, become a part of our community, and make music.